Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on this very special Friday evening for the first session of Heist. We open in the dead of night in a new city loft apartment. We see a woman with gray braids piled atop her head and magical tattoos covering her body. She staggers, stumbles, then falls, crashing into a shelf of potted plants and potion bottles. She looks down at her arm, and like ink, black ichor travels up her veins, spreading, burning. Drawing all of her strength, she drags herself across the floor, shaking hands, reaching for a drawer. And a red haze, like bloody mist, seeps into the room, almost like a noxious gas, coiling around this woman, lifting her in the air, turning her body. She manages, with just the tip of a finger, to open the drawer, and four emerald green envelopes tumble out of it. As the black ichor in her veins claw its way up her throat, over her jawline, and finally blacking out her eyes, the envelopes take flight, as if come to life, and zip around the room, fluttering. The woman's body is fully afloat now. She is still, and we see the red haze reach out like snapping hands trying to snatch at the envelopes, but each one makes it out the open window and flutters out into the streets of New City. Later that very same day, down here in Lowtown, an ancient cathedral renovated into a museum towers over the young woman. To those not magically inclined, they only see a boarded up, dilapidated building, but to witch folk everywhere, this is the Newsonium Museum of Ancient Magical History. That young woman that we were talking about, standing just outside as the last dregs of golden hour start to seep away into sundown, we see Callie reading the message inside that green envelope for the 100th or so time. Written in golden ink, it says, Burnwood is cashing in a favor. Come to the Newsonian at sundown. Callie, can you tell us what we see as Callie waits, being the first to show up here?
Um, so Callie is standing there, handshaking. They have been shaking for probably like, I don't know, however long it took me here, a day, 2 days, a week, a year, I don't know. Just been shaking continuously that entire time. She is draped in she has these like long twists that are pastel pink going down the to her back, and then a beautiful blouse with a corset that looks like an art piece and a matching skirt to the blouse, and then the dingiest, crustiest snatchers, uh because we aren't being sponsored,
Snatchers is
um
wild.
that you have ever seen in your life. So like you see this like elegant, like painting-esque, like femme presenting person with like gold rings and jewelry and stuff, and then just the dirtiest snatchers you ever see. They are bright pink, but you can barely tell because they're covered in just dirt. Um and Callie is just like, "Oh no." You see her like pacing back and forth in front. She's like, "Oh no, there's no next steps. I don't know, what do I do? Do I go inside? Do I stay outside? Do I go in? Do I like?" And then I just like look at like, I'm like, "EG, should should I go should I go inside, or should I stay out here, or is do you think someone's coming?"
E.g., you're familiar, or more aptly, your familiars that kind of act as a conscience for you sometimes. Swarm up, this sparkle swarm of fireflies, glowing and pulsing. A small group of them on one shoulder whispers, It's a setup. It's a setup. You should leave. You should leave. Actually, Maybe you should burn this whole place down. It's a trap. Did you know that it's a trap? Start a fire. While on the other side of your shoulder, a larger group of fireflies, and therefore a little louder, go, calm down. If Burnwood needs you, we must have faith. She would never put you in danger unduly. Just breathe. Just wait.
Okay. Okay. I think a compromise is in order. I shall wait 30 minutes. And if 30 minutes pass and nothing happens, I shall burn this place to the ground. Yes. Fantastic. Okay.
Wonderful.
Good.
Carrie, can you roll me a d20?
It's a 9.
Okay. You don't have to wait 30 minutes because 9 minutes later, we do see uh, almost a nervous look about this man walking up. Al, can you please paint us a picture of what we see? And if your familiar is with you, a quick description.
Yeah, so Al is looking, I'll say a little posh. He looks kept together. Um, he has nice dark gray pleated slacks and some like brown or dark deep brown loafers. He's got buttoned up white undershirt, and over that's like a little black vest that's like buttoned over it, and then a little nice little trench coat over top that. He's got deep black locks that he just has tied in a bun. And he has some gold glasses that have the little accoutrement that droop to keep them around his neck just in case he misplaces them or to prevent him from misplacing his glasses. But from a glance, he looks like a very studious fellow, a nerd, if you will. Um, but yeah, he's looking prim and proper, but he is we'll say it is a mask to veil the anxious man that he is on the inside.
Absolutely. You absolutely see each other, and more importantly, the green envelopes that are somehow visible on your person. If you're holding them, come out of a pocket, etc. Uh, both of your messages say the same things. You share a bit of a knowing look uh, and realize that the time it said to meet is fast approaching. Sundown is currently happening. And as the sun starts to turn the sky crimson and flame oranges, it no longer reaches the streets of Lowtown. And as the city streets are cast into shadow, you can see that there are bioluminescent pebbles paved into the road, and they begin to glow blue, guiding people home. The blue light casts an underglow on a new approaching witch. Anemone, could you please give us a description of what these two uh, patient witches see as you walk up?
Yeah, of course. So, what we see first we see the hair because the hair is absolutely gloriously a big afro because the higher the afro, the closer to heaven, of course. Um, Big high because it's full of secrets. Um, Strutting down with the familiar just tagging along right behind, like directly right behind, like they're like so in sync, so perfected, like in line. We've got an oversized pinkish sweater that is tied gracefully with a little pin that is just a little bit of a cherry. We've got jeans. They are a little bit torn and a little bit worn, but they're definitely loved. And then we've just got combat boots, but they're pink because absolutely. Little backpack stringing with little any mini like charms just dangling on the little backpack as well, slung halfway off the shoulder. Basically a skip all the way down to towards the door, um, just to see what's going on.
Absolutely. I You said that your familiar and you are very much in sync. So you have a barn owl, this beautiful wide-winged white owl behind you. Every time you turn your head to look at something, uh, it's like an equal and opposite reaction. Archimedes looks the other way. You look out for each other without even trying. It's like moving in sync. And as you approach these other two witches, uh, Archimedes warns you. Now listen, darling, I don't mean to be a bother, really, I don't. And I don't want to tell you how to do your job. Clearly, you are strutting the runway here. Well, I mean, we are in the middle of the street, but you are doing a splendid job. May I remind you, the last time that we got involved with anything to do with Burnwood, there was that little matter of the law we broke? That's all. I just wanted to. It's just something to keep in mind, dear. Just something to think about, to tinker on. Up in your noggin. Your beautiful noggin. Gorgeous noggin. And she does like a. Archimedes does a little swirl around your head.
Of course. But we don't talk about that, of course, but I absolutely remember. Of course, of course. Yes, yes. It'll be okay.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Of course it will. Of course it will. And you end up strolling right up to the other three. Now that there are just the three of you so far, and sunset is truly upon you, are you saying anything to each other, noticing that you all have the same green envelope?
Hello. Notice we've got the same. I'm Al, by the way. I'm just a little. Uh, Burnwood. Are you familiar?
Yes, unless this is a setup, in which case, no, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Not a
Um,
setup. I promise.
I'm absolutely familiar. You can't prove that I don't. I'm not familiar. You absolutely cannot prove it, but yes, I'm absolutely familiar with it. Absolutely, absolutely.
Getting the inkling that we would be a bad lot of criminals. Yeah. So
Criminals? Who?
it's
Who? Me? No, no, never. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Of course not.
Um,
right.
what is crime when you are bestowing the justice of the sky and the water? Yes, crime is subjective, is what I'm trying to say.
That is absolutely true. Crime is absolutely subjective, and who dictates the rules of crime?
Rules are actually meant to be broken unless they aren't, in which case, it's fine.
Right. Yeah. Lovely. I imagine we're going to the same place. Yeah. I think maybe we should stick together. I'm not really sure what we're about to
That
get into.
sounds lovely. You should lead the way. Just in case there's any traps or contraptions, don't worry. I am very capable of handling such things. So if you get in any danger, you will not be alone.
Uh, I'm honored.
Taylor, can you roll me, please? Taylor, can you roll me a sneak check, which is going to be your 3d6 plus your intuit?
Perfect. Yeah, can do. Sorry, math. 10. Look at that.
Okay. Can you please, Taylor, as you see these three kind of comparing envelopes and messages and making a plan to move forward, Taylor, could you describe for us how you make a very big scene, making yourself known here?
Okay. I think I think Amber, if she's going through the door, I think the door just like fling open, like lightning is
Oh,
striking. Oh,
there's
there's
no
no door.
door.
There's no
Yeah,
door.
there's no
Okay.
door. You guys are
Sorry, my bad.
outside of the
Oh,
museum.
outside.
It is closed for the evening. Yeah,
Okay.
they're
Okay.
walking towards the door.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. Mm, I think with Amber, I think like you just hear a lot of like screaming off into the distance for a moment. And then it's like it was very quiet, and I was just getting louder and louder as it just sounds like she's just like cursing at herself, annoyed at herself, as she, if it's possible, since she's into necromancy magic, if she's like has like a skeleton following her, talking to her at this moment in time. As she's like, I didn't want to create you. I need you to disappear. Please go away right now. I am trying to be sneaky.
As you're screaming at the top of your lungs, I'm trying to be sneaky. I don't believe any of the rest of you have any spirit magics, but as you see this person approaching, please go ahead and roll me an affinity check, which is under your cast stat. So roll me 3d6 plus your cast to see if you can see what is happening here.
I rolled an 8.
Okay.
16? 6 plus 4 plus 5.
16.
6 plus 4 plus 5 plus 1. So
Keep an eye on if you roll doubles or triples, because that gives you advantage. Uh, what did you get? I have an 8, a 16.
5.
I didn't
That's
need
a
to roll, correct?
15.
Correct. Okay. Al, all you see is this person screaming at the top of her lungs, telling someone to leave her alone, saying she's going to be sneaky. But Callie, you see, and of course, our our lovely anemone also sees what looks almost like Nick Cage's version of Ghost Rider, but without a motorcycle. He is fully sitting, arms up like low ride chopper, moving at a steady pace beside Ember. No riding anything, just jaw flabbing. You can't hear what he is saying, but there is clearly a dead spirit, something dead, following Ember right up to you. And as Ember approaches, you all hear, psst, psst, excuse me, psst, gang, crew, excuse me. And from the side of the building into like the tight nook and cranny of an alleyway, you see bright purple hair and wide, like bifocal size glasses, and a person who is mostly made up of scarves and crocheted sweaters, waving you over and pointing at your green envelopes.
well, this is certainly a lot to process at once. Um, hello? Are they like off to the side, like, pss, 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 or are they like in front of us?
Yes, they are absolutely off to the side, poking just like the top of their head and arm out, trying to get you over there.
I look at that person and I just look at Al, like, just like, after you. And I ignore the skeleton or the dead thing, because I just can't process that right now.
Uh, I don't know why you're looking at me. I think our friend in the pink combat boots should go first. Combat boots are good for stomping, so in case someone needs stomping, I think they're best suited. And then, sorry, actually, what's your name? I don't think I caught your name. Actually, I think you should lead though. Uh,
Yeah. Wow, I've just been nominated and no one even knew my name. Okay, I see how it is. All
Well,
right.
and I actually agree with this one on this. Oh, Al, yes, you did say your name. Because
yes.
Anemone, you were just absolutely, you always know how to take charge in our
Hmm.
meetings, and you're just so elegant. And don't worry, I will be right behind you. Um, support?
I'll come with you.
We love. So we have Ember and an enemy. Do you take the lead with Ember by your side?
I mean, it's not the first time I've been thrusted in a lead position before, so of course, of course, of course. Yes, of course. Absolutely.
Ember and an enemy take the lead. In between them, that only a few of you can see, this invisible lowrider riding skeleton man who is clearly talking Ember's ear off. And at this point, you can ignore it or you can let it happen. But as you enter the alley, you hear him rev something uh, and ride off right past this little purple haired, she looks younger than she is, but purple haired girl. As you enter the alleyway, she goes, "Oh, thank goodness! And everyone's so punctual. This is wonderful. I'm so glad that you're here because I wasn't sure if you would be, and things are kind of dire. Could everyone please just kind of huddle in close so that we can just work through this together. This is a very stressful time for me, and should also be for you. None of you look quite as stressed as me, and that's probably because you don't know the details. So come on in. We're gonna huddle in this alleyway together, and I'm going to try to explain what's going on. Hello, I'm Millie, Millie Goggins. You know me as Burnwood's apprentice. It's really nice to see some of you again and meet you for the first time. We don't need to do names. This is a secret mission, so you can keep those to yourself. But Burnwood is in dire straits, absolutely dire straits. You all look capable. So what I need you to do is go in there, you know, and take an artifact.
Oh, that all?
Yeah, that's totally it.
That's clear.
First to start.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So sorry. I just had to squeeze in here. So we are tasked with going in here and stealing this thing. Theft. Okay. Is there like a greater good reason that you can tell me right now? Like something that aligns that it would make sense to do this?
Oh, well, of course. Burnwood needs you to.
Okay.
She's in
What?
trouble, and
What?
if you don't do it, then what? How will she be helped? You are her last resort. You got the green envelopes, didn't you?
Okay, yes, I do have this, and I do want to help, but I do not know where Burnwood is. And you are very nice, but you
Hi,
are not
thank you, Millie
Burnwood.
Goggins.
Yes, Millie Goggins. You are not
Correct.
Burnwood.
No.
So, like,
Right.
is she? Can we send her a message? Like, is she alive? Like, what's going? Like, do you know where she is?
She's alive for now, but
Okay.
that window that window of time that she has to stay alive is rapidly closing, and the longer that I explain this to you, the smaller the window gets. I do believe that she's been hexed. I'm not really sure by who. I'm. This is just my third year apprenticing, and I just got up to study spells, so it's a bit out of my depth. But your envelopes were in her emergency drawer, and if they were released and you got them, that means you're the only people who can help.
I
Right.
was in her emergency drawer. I
Well,
should feel
not you, but
flattered.
yeah, kind of.
Kind of.
I was.
Take this, and
Wow.
she holds out a candle for you.
A candle to sneak in.
Do you take it? Yeah, a candle.
I I guess I take um like I feel like Callie takes it like without thinking. Like, oh, thank you. Wait, why am I holding this? What do I do with this? Do I go inside?
Oh, this'll yes, this will get you inside. I know that they're kind of closed right now, but I also interned here for 6 months. There shouldn't be more than maybe 3 guards on shift at a time. But this is very powerful magic. It's teleportation magic. So, once you use it, you will be inside, but the hex hounds will know about it.
Excuse me. You said, oh wow, that's a lot of process. So hexhounds, yeah, guards, uh, uh, artifact. But what is the artifact that we're looking for?
Oh, that's the easy part. It's the serpent snare slab. It's an ancient tablet that has a code on it that will have the ingredients and recipe for waking Burnwood up. Maybe. If she's under the hex, I think she is, and you can double check my research. Oh my god, it's so hard doing it by myself, but study spells. Then that should be what tells us how to break the hex.
Got it. So all right. So this slab, where is it in this particular place? Is it guarded? Do we need to be like? Do we need to wear gloves? Like, what? I want to get as much information about this as possible, so we don't mess
Sure.
this up.
Sure. Give me a persuade check. 3d6 plus your persuade because she's very concerned about the time.
That's an 11 total.
Okay, that is a mixed success. And on a mixed success, for persuasion, you are going to get what you're aiming for here, some more information, but you are going to suffer a condition. So, if you wouldn't, I think, and tell me if you feel this is correct or incorrect to your character, I think confused would work well, or hearing that the hex hounds are involved and you're about to break the law. Fearful would also work for your particular character, so feel free to take that particular condition, whichever one you think fits best, and when that comes into play in role play, you're going to be rolling at disadvantage.
I'll take confused, and looking forward to rolling with the disadvantage.
Love it. Okay, so she looks at you. You seem earnest, and you're the only one who is like asking questions about the mission itself. So she looks at you and goes, well, yes, I can tell you a few things. Okay, I studied this flashcard. Flip over, teleportation candle. Yes, once you use it, the magical scent will scent off the hex hounds, and you can't take your familiars inside with you through this teleportation, unless, of course, they're like converged with you or something. So if you like put them in your body, it could work. Otherwise, you're gonna have to like open a window, I guess, or maybe no, it's gonna have to be a window or a door. Everything's got alarms in there. Some rooms have anti-magic fields. Does that help? You won't be able to use magic, but only in some rooms. And I'm not sure where they put the slab. They just renovated after I got fired for the internship.
All right. Wow, that's a lot. Um,
Yes.
okay. I won't ask
Yeah.
about why you got fired. I understand we're under duress. Do we know which rooms have anti-magic?
If I were running the museum, the room with the slab in it, it's very powerful. So probably the room with the thing you need. Sorry, I don't make the rules. That's why they fired me. I kept trying to make rules in the museum.
Yes, I understand. I can always support a entrepreneurial spirit. Thank you, Millie. And Al will look to the rest of the group. How do y'all feel? I don't know what we're about to get into, so
I
Will
think
you do it, please?
I look Millie in the eyes and I go, Millie, I Burnwood, right?
Hi,
Burnwood.
yes, Millie Goggins.
Okay, yes. Yes. So Burnwood, she's done a lot of wonderful stuff for me. So I shall do this, but do know that there will be fire and hell and pain to pay if this is a setup or if I end up in jail. There will be deep, deep repercussions. Okay?
Oh, um, I think this is why she put you as her emergency contact. You have beautiful eyes. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Absolutely. Um, just one thing. When you get it, can you go to her safe house? That's where she is right now.
Sure.
I actually think you, Callie, would be the only one who knows where the safe house is. I do
Oh,
believe
okay.
that's where you stayed when you had a bit of the figuring out time to
Yes.
yourself, and that's where Burnwood put you up in her loft. So you know where it is. For everyone else, give me an intuit check to see if you know where it is, just in case you get split up or something. I need to know if everyone will know where to meet.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, please go ahead and give me an intuit check. 3d6 plus your intuit stat.
11.
11, that is a mixed success. You take a minute, Ember, and try to really focus in on memories. Burnwood moves locations a lot. So finding the right memory of her most recent safe house pulls something from you without even trying to. The tip of your wand glows and urges you forward with a bit of magic. Please expend a source point. But you do know where the safe house is. You would be able to get there just fine. Al, what about you?
And it's a 12 total.
Okay. Uh, Same thing. Your wand has to help you out a little bit with this, pushing you forward, trying to navigate where in the city you have delivered from before, and we'll get more into that later. But you do recall the exact address of the safe house from here. And what about you, Anemone?
I got a 13.
Beautiful. Same thing. So Al and Anemone, you both mark a source point, but you do have the accurate location. So if anything goes to heck in a handbasket, you will be able to get back to where you need to be. Millie looks at each of you, goes, "Thank you much. I can't do this without her. So I guess that means I can't do this without you. Yeah, please. Yeah, fix the. Okay, yeah, you get it. Okay, Millie Goggins. Just call me if you need me. I'm Millie Goggins. And she turns and bolts. She has kind of like a panicked zigzag to her movements. You can tell she has been extremely frazzled since probably finding Burnwood's hexed floating body, and is headed back there. You have a few seconds to make a plan. You know that once you use this teleportation candle, you will be inside, but that the hexhounds will have been alerted to that spike in magic surge. Um, you know that you can't take your familiars in with you in terms of in the candle, but in your familiar moves, you have a move called Converge, meaning you can become one with them, and they will give you a +1 to your rolls for the until the end of the scene. So the entire time that you're in the museum, you'll have a +1 going, but you have to expend 2 source points. You only have 5, and you've already expended 1, most of you, for looking for the safe house in your mind's eye. So make that decision carefully. And if you're not going to take them with you, please let me know so I know who's where and what's what.
I'm just gonna look at EG and I'm be like, okay, you all be good. Look like normal, regular fireflies. Just flutter off somewhere.
Yeah, they kind of like bob in an odd parade away from you, flickering. Looks like they're circling around back behind the museum where the open kind of courtyard area would be. So they're close, but they're not going to go in with you. Is anyone else's familiar staying outside, performing a task, etc.?
I'm going to give them all little kisses. I know there's hundreds of them. That's gonna take up like most of the time before they scurry
Okay.
off.
A skeleton man. Still here?
Absolutely. No, he revved his ghostly motorcycle and drove off.
Good. But no. Like she won't. I think Amber's gonna keep her familiar with her.
Yeah.
Al's
Your familiar is a wryneck bird that kind of looks up at you from your shoulder, tilts its head, and goes, "You sure you don't want me to follow her, boss?"
You do speak good words. Yeah. Follow.
I'm on it, boss. And
Thank
they
you.
fly off very fast in the direction of Millie Goggins. Al, you were saying?
sorry. I was gonna call to Chammy, and it was like I think great minds think alike. It was gonna like in low voice say, I don't know if you peeped that Millie character, but could you keep an eye, support our friends here? Just I'm nervous. I don't know why she's so nervous.
Of course. I love doing this stuff. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm going to take the sneaky way.
Perfect. Thanks, Chammy.
Chammy runs like a little figure 8 in between your legs. It's kind of like a goodbye, like that's often what they do before they run off. And your little Tibetan fox kind of looks like a little bit of a Pokemon in the blue light of those paved bioluminescent streets as it darts off and down and away. And Anemone, what about you? Where is Archimedes going to be?
An enemy turns to Archimedes, like, so what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Please do not leave me out here. I will be bored to death. All I do is watch this. Say, who's that? Can't I come in with you? I'm bored. I haven't been to the museum in years. Please, please, I'll fit right inside here.
I mean, I do have a big cardigan, so come on.
Please expend 2 source points as you all watch this owl swoop down and fold its wings to its side and dive straight into an enemy's chest. There is a brief glow here that you can see, and then for just a brief second, an enemy's eyes look like owl's eyes, and the next second, back to normal. An enemy, you can take +1 to all of your rolls in addition to your stats.
Wow.
Wonderful.
It always tickles.
That's much more elegant than mine. I just swallow all my little fireflies.
That sounds like it takes a long time. That sounds like it takes
Not
a long
as
time.
long as you think.
It's very
So can
fascinating.
you just unhinge your jaw, or what? How does that work?
I'll probably show you one day.
You don't
okay.
have to. It's
We
fine.
don't. We didn't ask
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
We can-
okay. Sorry.
That's
I
intense.
want to know.
It's really cool. Okay.
It's okay. You could tell me. It's fine.
We love. How are we lighting this candle?
Faith, trust, and pixie dust.
Anybody get a lighter?
Does it have to be like a live flame? Does it have to be like a special flame?
You just gotta be a
No,
flame.
anything that lights a candle should be able to light this candle.
Well, as
Let's
the
light
witch
this.
of flame. I think it's
That's
only
true, you are. Would you
necessary.
like to
Flame it
Yeah,
up?
give us
Got a big purple.
a cast check, please. And because you are a Witch of the Flame, you do not have to spend a source point to do this. Go ahead and give me a cast check. We'll see if you can get a flame between the fingers.
I hope so. All right. 13.
Hell yeah. That is a mixed success, which is basically a hit, which is all you need for this. It doesn't have much risk. How do you conjure this quick flame? Is there a special flavor you'd like to put on it?
Ooh. I was like, she got her wand at this moment in time. At first, she was gonna like raise up her finger, but she's like, she knows where she's at, so she's like a wand, and like the green emerald turned like red as she just like pokes it out, trying to like light the candle.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like one of those large grilled lighters for a second, but with your gorgeous wand as this candle aflame, and no sooner does the wick catch light than you are standing in the museum. It's dark, tile everywhere. Where you are is just left to the main entrance, and I need everyone to give me intuit checks. Oh, and as a gentle reminder, since this is our first time playing, if you have rolled 10 or below for any checks, please mark your experience points so that when you finally get to 10, you can add new powers and do new spells. But in the meantime, please roll me an intuit check. This is a vibe check, meaning let's see if you can kind of hear and suss out what's going on with security right now.
Into it, I got a 12.
16. Okay. Oh, I got double. What does that mean?
Yeah. Doubles mean well, you don't need to use the first property, but if you get doubles in the system, it means you can either add a +1 to your current check, which might push you over the edge into the next highest bracket, or you can re-roll your lowest dice, but you have to take whatever that next roll is. Since you don't need it because you got a full success, there's a place on your character sheet to mark a future advantage. So now you can hold on to that for when you need it.
Ooh.
I got a 10.
Hell yeah, please mark experience.
I was like, here's the thing. I
And
also,
enemy, what about you?
for spell specialties, I have advantage on all vibe checks. So
Yeah, roll this at advantage. Roll your 3
right.
and then re-roll your lowest and take the higher.
Okay, let me do that then. All right, so that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is a 12 then.
Okay, that's a mixed success. So for those of you who got between an 11 and 13, that is a mixed success on Intuit, meaning you do have to tap into a little bit more of your power to get a better result. But you do hear that there's some footsteps around you. It seems like Millie Goggins had prepared you pretty well. From what you can suss out on a mixed or total success is that there seem to be 3 separate sets of steps moving around in the museum. There are 2 levels here, so only Taylor would know that 2 of those sets of steps are going into the the Mesopotamian magics section, and 1 is going into the ancient familiars exhibit. However, while everyone else is listening for fuzz, Al, you didn't hear the security, but you can see just fine. And you see that there is a sign directing to all the different exhibits here in the museum. You see a sign for miraculous herbs, ancient familiars, and Mesopotamian magics, all on the first floor. And because Millie Goggins specifically gave you this information, you do see a little icon next to the Mesopotamian magic section that is an icon for an anti-magic ward. On the second floor, where you can see the other signs pointing upward, there is magical travel and witch wars of the past exhibits.
I think I will go to relay that information. Just a note for the rest of the group. Um, oh wait, friends. That sign there is a signal for anti-magic. Not to say that the slab is definitely going to be there, but I have a feeling it might be that one. I mean, we don't have all the information available to us, but um, that's my guess.
I agree with you.
Sounds wonderful. Is anybody else just feeling that this is like a little itty bitty tiny bit insane?
Only a little. No, not more than a little. It's quite immense.
It's
Fantastic.
pretty cool.
Okay, well, you shall be. How about you go first now?
Yeah, I
Sorry,
agree. Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't catch your name. I'm sorry.
Ember, you've been volunteered again.
Oh. I
And
was a
we will
doctor.
follow your lead.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. I was like, I have no issue with that. Let's go.
So you're all going to the same exhibit, which is the Mesopotamian Magics exhibit, correct?
Yes. For reference, we only needed one artifact, right? Because I am
That's
me
true.
three am bad at remembering. Your smile has me nervous, Meadow. Yeah, I go.
Sorry about that.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop smiling, Meadow. Don't be
Are
happy.
we are we are we all sneaking? Because if so, I need everyone to give me sneak checks, which are Intuit. So, but some of you have specialties in the smaller subsets of the stats. So it's specifically a sneak check. But if you don't have anything specific for that, just roll your Intuit stat.
I have slime magics, so since I have that condition, we're rolling at disadvantage. So I just roll normal now, right? With
Yes,
slime
you
magics, I
do.
get a advantage on all sneak checks for context.
Nice. You
I got
sly
a
dog.
12.
Okay.
Six. Six.
This is going great already.
17.
I'm trying to remember. Do I add one because I have Archimedes with me, or I'm trying to remember which one do I add one on?
Yes, you add one for all of your checks as long as you have
Oh.
Archimedes with you internally.
Okay.
So as well as your Intuit stat. And keep in mind, if
Okay.
you roll doubles or triples, you can get
I
some
did roll
advantage.
doubles.
Would you like to use it?
Ah, that
I
is
can
the
use
question.
my advantage, right?
Let me see.
Yeah, of course.
It's 12.
I'll do it. I'll use that.
I don't think so because I'm getting an 18. So
Oh, you do not need it. Yes.
that's what I'm
14 and higher
saying.
is a total success. You can hold on to that for sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tuck that in my pocket. It's fine.
Got an 11.
Okay, that's better than before. So we have 2 mixed successes. Did anyone get a 10 or less? I think everyone got a either a mix or a total. Great. Okay. So for those of you that got a mixed success, on Intuit mixed successes, you do have to spin that source point in order to keep yourself stealthy. At one point, as you are moving silently through, maybe suddenly a guard turns as you approach this room, and you have to cast a little extra magic to throw an extra layer of shadow over your body to make sure they don't see you. Maybe you cast a silent step on your feet to make sure you can't be heard. Whatever the case is, you do have to get a little bit of a magical boost here to not reveal your position. Nobody failed, but please, if you got a mixed success on that last check, mark a source point. You approach the Mesopotamian Magics exhibit. You see large above it anti-magic wards live. That means that while you can't use magic inside, neither can they. It cannot be guarded by magical means or magical traps or enchantments, but that doesn't mean that state of the art technology cannot be used against you. You see that there are glass cases lining the entire perimeter of this room, and in the back half of the center is a tall pedestal with a spotlight gleaming down around an open, not caged in, gorgeous clay slab. It looks like a thick ruler almost. It's about a foot long and it has a terracotta look to it. But there are so many intricate symbols on top of it. You can easily believe that this could be a cure for whatever it is that Burnwood is suffering from. There are no other artifacts out in the open in this room. They're all in glass cases. So the glass cases are probably alarmed. You can't see if there are lasers, but behind this large pedestal that is about, I would say, 7 feet tall, just to mostly keep kids from swiping at it when they come with school tours, you see 2 guards who are currently talking to each other. Seems like they are sharing a bit of a bet. One leans over and says, "Oh, who do you got on Friday's fight?" No, 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 no. That would never happen. That would never happen. He can't cast worth a shit. He's just got 3 knives for fingers. That's not gonna work, Jerry. You're gonna lose your money. I'm not going down to the coffers and betting on knife hands. Do I look stupid? And Al, you hear coffers, and it's familiar to you. In this lightly confused state that you're in right now, in terms of how did I get here? Who are these people? What will come of this? You remember the last time that Burnwood cashed in a favor from you. You were meeting with Colin Coffers, the owner of an underground magical fighting ring, delivering healing potions that Burnwood had made. Burnwood is the type of woman in New City that can get you anything you need for the right price if you know the right people. And she called you in to head to Colin. You hear the roar of the crowd trickle down to kind of like an echo as he meets you outside of this underground catacomb. And a couple of fighters, huge and scarred, and some with replacements of parts with weapons, walk past you, already tending to their wounds and prepping for another round. And Colin Coffers looks at you and says, "Is that the stuff?"
Yeah, that's the stuff, yeah.
"So you're Burnwood's guy." And he
Yeah.
kind of creaks it open and looks. It checks out, so he closes it and looks at you. You see him like quickly scan you up and down and go, "You look terrified. It's okay. It's just a bit of bootlegging. No one's gonna find you."
I appreciate the reassurance, yeah. um,
You know, we have a rotating roster. The fighters, if you ever get your knees to stop shaking long enough to take a fighting stance, you might do well in there, make some money.
I, uh, I don't try to get into fights too often. It's not necessarily my favorite activity. But
Do it.
I appreciate your encouragement. You're very
Do it.
very assuring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Breathe. Why don't you see the bookie and just take a bet? Maybe watch a fight. Here, take this. And he gives you money to go bet on fighters and see what happens in there. It's brutal. It's intense. The entire catacomb area that clearly was used to be used for like funeral rites is just spattered in blood. There are broken blades, chipped metal everywhere. How does Al feel about seeing that?
Slightly excited. He is nervous.
Hell yeah.
He's nervous, but not because of fighting in itself. He's just he just has this carrying this anxiety, but the sight of combat actually he's like a flick of the switch.
Do you think that you try to hide that as you're watching the fight? Because Colin Coffers is watching you as the fight is happening, gauging your level of interest. And I would like to know how apparent that is, or if you're being a little deceptive in this moment outwardly.
It So watching Al watch this fight, Colin would pick up on the fact that he's being analytical and he is analyzing. His shaky legs now are kind of like an anxious leg jitter as he's just like watching the game and going or watching the fight and just going, "Ah, man, his spacing's off. Yeah, no, he should dot this way and then go that way." And he's just like mumbling to himself, but he's in it. He's invested, fully
Absolutely.
eating it up.
Colin Coffers notices this, and it's up to you how often you come back. But every time you do, Colin slips you a little bit of extra cash and bets where you bet. You have an open line of communication with Colin Coffers now. So you can use that at any time you like, for any reason you like.
Love
You remember the fight. You remember him saying, if we could get your legs to stop shaking long enough to take a fighting stance. And you're right back in the museum, knees a knocking, looking at two guards who are 2 inches away from spotting you. Uh, what do we do, gang?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Theoretically, um, I'm from the what is my coven called again? Hold on. The Zinnia Coven. So I think that in addition to magic fighting, I would have some knowledge of hand-to-hand combat, but specifically incapacitating people.
Absolutely.
Um, can I just
Absolutely, you do.
can I just go up behind these lovely gentlemen and just like not murder, but just like in my dirty
Absolutely.
Skechers, in my like skirt,
In your Snetchers,
in my
absolutely
sweater.
you can. So some of you may not know this. I know that an enemy does, but Callie is from the Zinnia Coven. They are known in the witch world as magical avenging angels. They are lovely and they will snap your neck with a smile. They are extremely capable. What I would love from you, avenging angel who eats her fireflies, is a fight check. And this is going to be an advantage because you are pulling on your uh your knowledge, your upbringing. Please go ahead and roll that for me.
You said with advantage, which is rolling the
Yes, with
lowest one
advantage.
twice, or no, rolling the lowest one
Yeah,
again.
re-rolling the lowest and taking the highest. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So someone remembered that my lowest was 2, please. Okay, 5. Um. So wait, 5, 5 plus 5 plus 6. Does
You got
the advantage
doubles?
count as a double? Yes. So like if I roll
You
for
get
advantage,
yeah,
do
you
I
get
get?
advantage.
Oh,
Absolutely.
oh, cool. Okay. Well, 5 plus
But
5 plus
that's
6.
a total success. So you don't have to
Oh,
roll it. You can just like mark that future advantage and you can
yeah,
use it when you need it.
I'ma hold on to that.
Great. 5 plus 5 plus 6 is 16, which is over a total success. Would you like to take the floor and describe for us how you take out both guards?
So, I think what happens is that up until now, Callie has been kind of like just hiding behind Ember, like low key, like behind Ember, and then behind Anemone, and then like probably in the same line. I feel like Al and like Al and Callie are fighting for like being the last. Like, um, so I think what happens is that like as they enter the room and as these like guards come to see us, I think you just see like almost as if for a second you forget that magic cannot be used in this room because you just kind of see Callie just kind of like pastel flow over to like behind them, just kind of like leaving the scene and then entering the scene behind them and just like grabs one of them by the neck and just like, shh, go to sleep. It's okay. Shh, it's okay. And then the other one very clearly goes to do something. And then Callie kicks them in the shin with her dirty Skechers. And then she just does the same thing, her dirty Skechers. And then she just does the same thing. Shh, it's okay. It's okay. Shh, it's okay. It's okay. And I just laid him down gently. If I could find like a curtain or something, I just like rip it down and I just put it over them so that they just have a nice place to rest. They're just resting, just going to sleep. Very clear. If anybody enters here, they're just asleep. They got tired.
Yeah, they're just sleepy. They're EP boys on duty. Wonderful. You put both of these people, these grown men, to sleep in this magical museum. The exhibit is yours. The only thing you have to figure out is how you're going to get the gem. The pedestal is about 7 feet, and then it's like its presentation is like another 6 inches, nearly a foot. So you have to get a little higher than you are. How will you do that?
Are any of us tall?
I was like, Ember is like 5'10".
I think Callie is like 5'9", probably. How tall do I have to be? You said 7 feet, 6 feet.
Yeah, it's about 7.5 feet to reach the actual slab.
All right. He wants to get on my shoulders.
I look at Al.
All right, Al.
Okay, all right. Sure, all right, yeah, okay.
Do you not trust me? Don't worry.
No, I do. You've got a great confidence about you. I don't doubt you at all. I don't know how I've got picked first, but yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Balance with your core. Just remember, that's how you will be able to just go up.
Right,
Yes.
right. Naturally.
Of course.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, let's do it. An owl.
So how we're gonna do this is this is amazing. How we're gonna do this is Ember, I need you to roll me a we'll call this a mobility check. And Al, I think this is also gonna be a mobility check. This is you using your physical bodies here. So that's a fight stat. You can roll your 3d6 and add your fight.
A 6 for me.
I got double. Then in total,
Okay.
it's 8. But I reroll my lowest, right?
Yes, I would reroll your lowest.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad, not bad, not bad. That is a 12 now.
Okay, so that's a mixed success from Taylor and a struggle from Al. Al, please mark experience as you kind of like place your foot into a foothold made up of 2 hands And it's kind of like what you imagine cheerleading competitions to be, just like going straight up and reaching. Uh, you go straight up, all right, and then kind of your legs buckle. You crumble right back down on top of Ember. Ember, you are going to take
Ah!
1 point of damage. Uh, but Al, you are going to take 2 as you come crashing to the ground from a height after a little pop up. Uh, you kind of land in a massive tangle of limbs on this museum floor, looking up at this clay slab. Uh, meanwhile, uh, an enemy and our lovely Callie, are you suggesting something new?
Ooh, that
Oh,
looks painful.
Why'd you buckle your knees? You never buckle the knees.
It wasn't a
I
choice. I didn't do it on purpose. I swear.
And Al, you know what? I take full responsibility of
good,
that. That's
good,
my
good,
fault
good.
because I did see your knees and they were wobbly, but I still suggested to. So,
Setting up for
that's my
failure.
fault.
Not the
That's my complete responsibility. I apologize. Um, well, I'm out of ideas.
Well, we could toss you.
Yeah, let's do that.
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
Sure.
My age?
Yeah.
Callie's like, oh, okay, yeah, I can totally do that. Um,
Yeah, you took down 2 guys. We can just toss you up.
Yeah, this feels
mm,
quite reasonable actually.
Yeah, very reasonable.
I would
Nice.
argue putting two grown men asleep is much easier than being tossed in the air. That's my 2 cents.
No, I don't. No.
I mean, to your earlier point, I mean, you don't have wobbly knees, so
different strokes
Yeah, you got
for
strong
different
knees
folks.
yeah, sturdy
and
knees.
strong arms too to
Okay,
reach.
okay. Fine. I shall take one for the team yet again.
Well, I'm gonna take the
Um,
second one. 'Cause I gotta throw another person out.
this
Is
can
anyone
only go
helping
poorly.
Ember?
Wait, we could give the help action? Well, I guess I can't help since
Yeah,
I'm
if
being
you're
thrown
just
in the air.
no, you can't help. But how help works in this game is you describe how you're aiding someone and you get to add 1d6 to the total ones that they roll and they only use the 3 highest.
Yeah, I'll lend a hand somehow.
Lend a knee.
Yeah, lend a knee.
Not the knees.
So you give a little kind of support, Al. You lend a knee for Callie to step on, and Ember, you give a final boost. Ember, please roll me 4d6 and take the
What?
3 highest, and that's going to be with your fight stat. And the same for you, please, Callie, as you are our avenging angel. Let's see if you can soar. Give me a mobility check here.
Oh, I dropped one of them. This is bad. It was my good one.
It's fine.
Oh, I found it.
13.
Oh, can I take the
Hell
number
yeah.
that rolled on the floor?
If you want to.
Honor the
Cool.
cock. I
Because
know that's
it's
not what it
two
is.
it's 2 4s and a 3. So let me grab this.
That means doubles. If you would like to, you can re-roll the 3 and take the higher.
Okay, well now I have 3 4s here. So I don't know what to do
That
about
means
that.
that's our first set of triples.
Oh,
Triples, no
okay.
matter what you roll, are a total success. Even if you roll 3 ones, you just rolled triples.
This
Would
is
you
great.
like to yet again take the floor as you are basket tossed up and are able to snatch the tablet out of the air as you are soaring over?
Yes. So, I don't know. I probably forgot this in the description, but my girl is my ghoul, as they say, is a plus size baddie. So Callie has no faith that this is going to go well. Yet, after stepping on Al's knee and then taking Ember's very gracious boost, you see Callie flip in the air, and it looks like they're like something bad is gonna happen because they're just kind of flailing. And then it's almost like they realize, like, oh, okay, like actually, like everything's fine. I'm just panicking. And they just grab the tablet and they just hold it to themselves. They do like a little somersault and then they just like roll on the ground and they like land on the ground like superhero style, like superhero landing.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, huh, well, I suppose that was easier than I thought it would be.
So you give me a little bit of
Very-
encouraging.
I think I'm actually a very good emergency contact. Can you be an emergency contact professionally?
Yeah. You're doing it right now.
I don't know if we're getting paid for this, but I appreciate your sentiment.
On your resume somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Internships exist.
As you land, Callie, you all see the lights go out and the emergency flood red lights come on. You have tripped an alarm. Like I said, there are no magical traps, but modern technology is everywhere. The strobe flashing of an emergency alarm begins to flash. You hear running down the hall the final security guard. You're on the first floor. There is a second floor. You could absolutely attempt to try to make it to the front door. But you hear, as those steps are rapidly approaching, the jingle of keys, the heavy breath. You hear him calling for hex hounds. An enemy. You know hex hounds. The brute force that hunts down magic users are what we call hex hounds here. They are brutal and they are ruthless and they are hopped up on stolen magics. In particular, an enemy, you have met the captain of the hex hound squad, Crispin Teal. The last time you'd seen him, he had shown up at your family's estate during a family dinner and then separated you all and interrogated you for hours under suspicion of illegal magic usage. When it was your turn, an enemy, you remember being in the dining room alone. Only you, Crispin Teal, Captain Crispin Teal, in black and gray, almost like military wear without any medals, and a hexhound that was like his shadow moving just behind him. The hexhound behind him looked wrapped up almost in ceremonial gauze and bandages and tattered cloak that seemed to kind of billow on their own. There is not an inch of skin that you can see on this person, as if they are having to be physically held together by spells. In fact, they kind of like look like Moon Knight if Moon Knight was in pure charcoal gray. Crispin Teal leaned across to you, looking deep in your eyes as if searching for deception, and said, "You have a charming family."
Thank you. I think
That
you're
was
very
not a compliment.
Uh,
Some of the most
okay.
prolific criminals have been charming. I detest charm. I prefer obedience. Do you understand what it means to be obedient to the law, Miss Abrego?
I mean, if you're asking for a literal definition, yes, I have dictionaries, so of course I know what obedience means. Of course. Um,
Good. I would hate to see such a charming family be separated because they simply had to break the rules. And at the sound of the word break, the hexhound behind him cracks their neck. You hear that as if they have been taught that very lesson before. Crispin Teal leans in and levels you with a stare that is so full of malice, you can tell he's not really talking to you. He's not really here to get answers or to understand you or to find even the truth. He is here to punish anyone who breaks the law. And he says, Mr. Bregu, if we happen to meet again, and my hound scents a single spell not sanctioned by the good court, you and I, or more importantly, your family and I, are going to have a much longer discussion. Do I make myself clear?
Crystal.
And you hear in this museum strobe lights flashing, red floodlights everywhere, someone calling for hexhounds. You know that they will come for you. And if you're caught, you know what will happen to your family. And that's where we're going to take a bio break, gang. We will be back in 10. Hello and welcome back to the Hex Heist. We are knee deep in the shit, so to speak, as we find our thieving witches setting off an alarm in an ancient magical history museum. Uh, the Hex Hounds are coming. The security guards are coming. You just stole a relic. What are we doing, gang?
Is there okay? Do they see us yet?
No, no. You hear those security guard footsteps coming down the hall. They'll have to round that corner into the room that you're at in order to see you. This room does have two exits and entryways. It's in like the center of the museum.
Mhm.
So the way you came in and the way out, which is where the guards were standing, to where you were able to knock them out. So you could exit that room out the back, but it will lead you straight upstairs.
Hmm. Um, are the windows boarded up with like metal bars or like glass or like boards?
So this the Newsonian is a magical museum that was renovated from an ancient cathedral. So technically all of the windows themselves are glass and stained glass, but they are boarded from the outside to keep people out, not really to keep people in. So this just is a happenstance that you find yourself in. So it's
I
just wooden boards.
Can I punch the window?
Oh.
Sure. You
I
certainly
didn't like the
can.
way you did
Oh.
that. No, I don't know. Never mind. I'm like,
You absolutely can. I'm not going to stop you from punching the window. Um,
Kelly's
what I
gonna
would
look at it.
ask from you,
Oh, go ahead.
what I would ask from you first is a vibe check, so like an intuit or a comprehend check. And this is kind of like for foresight to see the consequences of one's own possible actions in this moment.
I'm going to go ahead and take that vibe check. Um, oh, these are bad rolls. 4 plus 1 plus 2. 4, 5, 6,
You have a
7.
future advantage, I believe. So if you would
Um,
like to re-roll that one, you absolutely can.
I am. Ooh, that was not good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 9. Just missed it.
Okay. So looking at this window
It's chill.
as an avenging angel, you're like, you know what? I've punched weaker windows than this. I would probably be fine,
Yep.
is what you get on that 9. Please mark experience. You're a little bit closer to unlocking some new skills with that bit of assessment. So rest of the gang, you see Callie look at a window and make a fist, but then looks back to the rest of you as if trying to get some other ideas flowing. Anybody else have any ideas?
Let's slow down there, Buckaroo.
I'm just saying, I put the men to sleep,
I
and
get it, but
we get it, but we can go upstairs.
let's maybe try other plans first before we
Especially,
potentially break a hand or a nail or whatever.
that would make
Not
that
sure.
make noise
Indeed.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
The security guard rounds the corner as kind of like
And
a slide, like sees you all standing there and reaches for his waistband, starts running towards you.
I'm gonna
You have
run
one exit
upstairs.
now.
You're gonna start running upstairs.
Okay.
We gotta
I'm
run
gonna
upstairs.
run
yeah,
upstairs.
we gotta run.
Let's go, guys.
I need
TV music
everyone
plays.
to give me mobility checks, please,
Oh.
as we see how fast you can
Ooh.
move those bodies up those stairs. That is going to be your fight stat, unless you have a specific ability that gives you advantage on mobility checks.
Is this a 2 or that's a 2?
I got a crazy plan. So It's not crazy. It's not really crazy. But my girl has glasses on with the chain, and the chain has beads on it. Can I rip that and toss it
Mhm.
on the ground to delay the guard?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Can I aid with
What I
that?
need from you, yeah, yeah,
Because
absolutely you can.
I know
What I'm
I
going to
have good
need
at
from you
trapping.
is you have trapping spells,
That's true.
or trapping magics. So this is an anti-magic ward.
That's true. I forgot
So
about
you
that.
can't do that with help magically. Uh, Taylor, for Ember, give me a separate fight check, but first tell me what you got on your mobility check, please.
13.
Okay, that is a mixed success. You trip up the first set of stairs, trying to
Dang.
get the fuck out of Dodge. You're
Embarrassing.
gonna take 1 damage as you trip, but you realize that since you've tripped, you need to stall for time, and you break those beads off of your glasses chains and throw them. Uh, before you give me your fight check for that, can I get the mobility from Al? What did you get on that total?
An 11.
Okay, that is also a mixed success. You trip over Ember, who has just tripped on the bottom stair. You take 1 damage. I don't know why Al can't stop falling on top of Ember, but immediately, twice in one night, it's already happened. You take 1 damage to your life points, but you do manage to get up those stairs. It's just a little bit of an obstacle. Uh, I want to check in with Callie. What did you get on your mobility check?
I got a 9.
Oh. Go ahead and go ahead and mark experience for me, and I will
Mhm.
check back in with you in just a second because
Fantastic.
anemone, what did you get on your mobility check?
Okay, so I ended up rolling doubles.
Okay.
So I did the roll again. Um, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 14 with the +1.
That is a total success. It would have been a mixed success if you hadn't kept Archie with you. Um, you go to run and you see several of your teammates just start to fall over each other, trying to get up these stairs, like clamoring like a zombie pile away from this security guard. And you hear in your mind, watch out, like I said, up and over, jete. And you are able to like dance move over this pile of other thieves as you make it up the stairs a little faster. Our failed roll, our avenging angel. Uh, I do indeed need you to take 2 damage for me as you are hit with this like sack of beans. Uh, it feels like someone launched a baseball at you through one of those firing cannons, one of those batting practice bullshits, and it hits you hard, right in the shoulder. You take 2 damage, and you are the last one up the stairs, right after an enemy. I want to check in with Amber, who threw those beads, to see if this slows down the security guard. Amber, what did you get?
I got a good old 10.
Okay. Alrighty, wonderful. Mark that experience. We're gonna get new spells tonight, all of us. You manage to rip those beads and toss them, and they land on top of the sleeping, snuggling bodies of the 2 security guards that Callie had just put to sleep. Just kind of like glitterifying this lovely nap that they're taking in this gorgeous red light. And you manage to get yourself up. You're up the stairs. Last up the stairs is we have Callie and we have an enemy. You breach the top of the stairs and see that there is a door here. It's heavy. It is carved with ritualistic sigils and spells. It looks like an old protection door. You're probably familiar with this. As you get to the top, all of those wailing sirens, the alarms, stop. And it's not that they are cut off, it's like something sucks the sound out of the room. An enemy, you see him first. Coalescing from pure smoky shadow, standing at the bottom of the stairs, is a hexhound. To you, most of them look very similar. They're very covered up. It's hard to identify one from another. But this one seems to look right at you, an enemy, tilts its head, and then you think you see him sniff the air as if recognizing a magical signature. You are able to get behind that door. I will need everybody to roll me a fight check to close it. It is like an ancient Viking style, 30 trees went into this type of door. But if you manage to close it, you may very well be able to stall for a bit. Please roll fight checks.
Ooh. Okay, I got doubles.
All we need. Ooh.
I also got doubles.
Yeah, I got doubles too.
Oh my gosh, let's go.
This is going wild. Don't let us down, Carrie. Don't let us down. Get them doubles.
Doubles.
Yo. This is what Black excellence looks like anyways.
That's wild. I can't believe everyone got doubles on the exact same roll to help each other close a door.
We
were like,
and if you're not going to advantage this round, please mark it so you can hold on to it. I'll start. I'm going to go around all the way around. An enemy. What did you get for your total?
It was fight. So I got a 19.
Bless.
Yeah, that'll do it. Ember, what did you get?
17.
Oh my God. What did you get?
14.
Okay.
14.
Okay, everyone got total successes. An enemy, yours is the highest. It is like adrenaline floods you as you know that this hexhound is making eye contact with you specifically. Adrenaline kicks in. Boof, boof. You manage to close that door. You shut it. It does have one of those blockages that you can just kind of bar. It would take a battering ram to get through this thing, and it would take it a minute. We don't know how long it would take a hexhound. Up here, you have two exhibits, and again, precious very little time. The two exhibits upstairs are Witch Wars of History and Magical Travel. What are you looking for? What are you doing? Got a lot of ground to cover and not a lot of time to do it.
Callie's looking for anything that can get them out of there without being like seen more than they already have.
Okay, give me a sleuth check, which is under your intuit stat. You're looking for clues. You're investigating right now. So go ahead and give me an intuit check, but more specifically, sleuth.
Okay, so question, because sleuth is listed as being under comprehend. I asked because in
I'm so sorry. It is, isn't it? Yeah, I was thinking of vibe checks. No, I want you to give me a sleuth check. So that's under your comprehend. Please give me a comprehend check if you don't have a sleuth specialty.
I got triples. I got 3 5s.
Get it, gang.
3 5s, total success. You can hold an advantage as well. There are two things that you see. The first thing that you see looks to be an airship of sorts. It's really small. It's more like the size of a dinghy, but with a balloon that is just full. It doesn't look very inconspicuous, but you do see in front of you, in where it is pointing, two large stained glass windows that look like they open up, kind of like French doors, which is probably how they got this into the museum. Again, it's not very inconspicuous, but you would have to open that window to get this out. You also see in the modern part of magical travel, boards. They kind of look like snowboards because there's nothing underneath them, no wheels, but you do have to strap your feet into them. Give me a comprehend check, please, to see if you know what these are, or if you can read the plaque next to it quick enough to be able to, get an understanding of what these do.
So 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's a 10 because I rolled a 1, but I'm gonna roll my advantage from previous.
Okay.
So that's a 6 + 5 + 3 + 1. So 6.
Absolutely. That's a 14.
Yay! Yay!
5 + 3.
Wait,
So that's a 15.
6,
Yeah.
15. Yay! I did it.
So that's a total success. I don't even think you need to read the plaque for this. You realize very quickly that these are blood boards. These are basically hoverboards that run on blood magic. So you prick your fingers, you would be able to get these working. Again, the same problem presents itself in terms of opening those stained glass windows. But if you can get it done, these are a lot less conspicuous than the airship, which you don't know how it runs yet. You haven't been over to that one.
Yeah. Okay, so I very quickly explain. I'm like, okay, airship, very clear, whatever, that's bad, but also maybe good. And then these boards, you just put blood on them, and then you can woo. And then can I like go to see? I don't know if anybody got that, but I'm gonna go see. Um, was it made clear to me how the windows open?
It was not. You can do another sleuth check if you're looking for clues on what mechanism would be using or controlling these windows.
I
And in the
gotta go to
meantime,
gold.
before we go on with that, please roll, but give me just a moment. For Anemone, Al, and Ember, what are y'all investigating as you hear a massive, like a battering ram outside of this door, slam into it? It holds, but it is a concerning amount of force. What do the three of you do? Or where are you going? Or are you helping out Callie in any way? What are you scattering to the winds to do?
I think I would probably go to check the window as well.
Absolutely. Uh Callie, please add a d6 to your sleuth roll since we have an enemy helping you out.
Am I adding a D6 total?
Yeah, add a d6 to your regular sleuth check. So roll 4 d6 and take the 3 highest because an enemy's helping you.
Okay. Okay, so I have a question. I'm so sorry to get into mechanics at this point.
Okay.
So I originally rolled a 1, a 1, or a 2, but I got doubles. So then I re-rolled that and got a 6, a 2, and a 1. Then I rolled the extra one and got a 3. So I'm at like 11 now with the 6, 2, and 3. But I have an advantage that I haven't used. Can you use the advantage twice? Like, or is it like no, once you have it, you use it?
Absolutely. You can burn them if you got them because you get
Okay.
them often with these mechanics of getting them with doubles. It's good to use them.
Ooh, so just to be safe, I'm just gonna use it. Ooh, and that is a 6. So that's a 6, a 6, and a 3. Um,
That's three.
Great.
Ooh,
That puts you at 15 without even adding anything. So now you still get to keep that future advantage. So it's
I
good
love
that you
that.
used it. Uh Absolutely. With the help of an enemy, you guys are able to start tracking pulleys and things. You find a large, slightly rusted crank off to the side in the corner that will take a lot of strength and probably not one person to do, or a little magic. You are now out of the anti magic warded exhibit. So if you had magic and wanted to use it, you absolutely could in this moment. But before you decide what you'd like to do there, I do want to check in with Al and Ember. What are y'all up to?
I'll say Al is looking for a weapon just in case. knees shaking and all. He's just scouring around.
Absolutely. Please, please, I am begging you, give me a sleuth check, which is a comprehend check.
Awesome.
This will be fun.
And it's still at disadvantage. Okay. A 10.
Wait, what is Al trying to do?
Okay.
I think I can assist.
Looking for weapons. Yeah, I was about to say, Ember, you're the only one who hasn't said what you're up to. If you're going around, let's say, Ember, like looking at the plaques and shouting out what these are, it would help a lot. So with Ember's help, please roll another d6 and take whatever those highest are.
Okay. Let's see.
And I feel like when Amber is shouting out these things, she's like very angry at the moment because she like broke her glasses. Because I have the elemental feature of easily vexed, very short temper. So I have that. It
Yeah.
says like you regain all your source points. I don't know what that means, but I'm just like trying to play into that she's upset right now.
Absolutely. And I love that you're doing this. So when a fire elemental is out of source points or low on source points, what they can do narratively is lash out at their surroundings or at someone close to them. So, Ember, if you want to tell me how you fuck shit up, you are absolutely going to get all your source points back if you would like them.
Amazing.
You're in a museum full of weapons. What are you doing?
Yeah, so every time she like reads a plaque, and so she just says it out loud, and then like breaks the plaque down. Just disrespect your surroundings. Kind of like, hey, here's a sword, a broom. Oh, Anyways, does anybody else feel better?
I love it.
I feel better.
Our favorite crash out is helpfully destroying the room of weapons. Al, what is your new total?
15 total now.
Oh, hells yeah. I'm going to tell you everything that's in this room. You have the time to take one of them, but that includes you, Ember. So I'm going to tell you what you're reading out because you've read the plaque, so you know. You can also grab one thing here. There are bladed wands. They are known to protect the person, their carrier. So it's kind of like I guess what the equivalent in like D&D or other TTRPGs would be a flying or animated sword, but they are bladed wands. There is familiar armor, or at least that's what it says. You can't see anything that is on these display pedestals, and nothing's in a glass case or anything, but it says that there's familiar armor in there. There are also wand spears, which are huge and are supposed to help you defend yourself, and spell shields, which are deflectors for magic being cast at you. So there are 4 things there. You can each take one thing: bladed wands, familiar armor, wand spears, or spell shields. I'll start with Al because you made the initial check. What are you trying to take here?
Al's going to be looking around and he's going to see the bladed wands, and they're going to remind him of watching magic fights. And he's going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm taking those. Yeah, I'm taking those. I'm going to show Colin. These are sick. Yeah.
Amazing. Go ahead and give me then a theft check, which I believe is Intuit.
Excellent. Okay. First roll. Why am I at disadvantage? 8.
Wonderful. You do manage to grab one. You absolutely do manage to grab one, but the blade part of the bladed wand cuts you.
Yeah.
You are now dripping a little bit of blood from your palm area, and the second that it cuts you, as you like, it begins to float around you in an elliptical type of orbit, and your blood glows and pulses within the bloodstone at the hilt of it. You now have a bladed wand. You do take 2 damage. So you take a little bit of damage, but you now have a realm of protection around you here. Ember, what are you taking out of the 4? Well, now 3. I mean, you can also take a bladed wand if you'd like.
Take the spear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a theft check, please.
Cool. Nothing can go wrong. Oh my god. Sorry. I have triples. 3 6s.
You got the jackpot roll. Okay, so 3 6s, that's great. Automatically successful. Not only do you steal one of these spears, you know exactly what it does for you. You now know that, and this is above table, but like you know your instrument, you know your weapon. Above table, you can add a d6 to all your fight checks when this is with you. So when this spear fight resists, which is more defensive. So anytime you roll a resist, which is when you roll a d20 to resist an effect being cast upon you, you can also add a d6 and add it. Al, you don't know what that blade does yet, but it does something.
Does something pretty cool.
Meanwhile, every time that Ember has smashed a plaque or broken open a glass case, a synchronized and simultaneous resounding at the door continues. Splinters burst from the back of it as if someone is punching straight through the door. Back at the window, we have Anemone, we have Callie. What is it that you two are doing in terms of this crank that you've found? Are you working together to try to open it? Are you calling over more help to do it? What exactly is going on here?
So, wait, Anemone, you go first. You don't have to. I just was like, I just wasn't sure if you
That's
had
not the first
something.
time I've been volunteered first, okay?
Okay, for real though. I think Callie's. Can I use magic to like? Okay, so I don't know if y'all been playing Marvel Rivals, but Sue Storm has this move where she could like essentially force push, like essentially force push something. So I want to do that to essentially get a head start on that crank. So like almost like as if somebody is like pushing it really hard and then it just starts spinning. I want to do that.
Yeah. Do you have a spell specialty or a grimoire spell from your coven or any type of elemental feature that gives you a specific spell that does such a thing?
Technically, no. Well, I have combat magic. I would argue this could be used as combat magic to push people
You
off a
can
cliff,
argue that.
which I've definitely done.
You know what? I will give it to you. This is a grimoire spell then for combat magics, which means this is a tried and true. If it is a mixed success or a total success, you don't have to spend a source point. If it is a failure, you will expend a source point. Go ahead and roll me a cast check. Yeah, give me a cast check. We'll see what happens here.
So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to use my advantage that I gained back, and I'm gonna. That's an 11. 11 is a mixed success,
Okay,
right?
that's a mixed
Okay,
success.
cool.
Yes, an 11 is barely a mixed success. Would you like to tell us what it looks like as you cast combat magics, especially this like force push, which is usually portrayed as being invisible? What does it look like for Callie?
So, for Callie, you just kind of see her panicking, and she just kind of like takes a deep breath, and almost like lets out a silent like an almost silent scream. Like you think of a dog whistle but it's like revving up. So you hear like the start of a high pitch like scream like "Woo!" and then just nothing. And then this thing just starts fucking spinning. There's a couple of sparkles in there because I command it.
Absolutely. You blast this force forward, and because it's a mixed success on a cast check, you do need to choose one of the magical setbacks on your character sheet. Which one are you choosing?
Um Okay. Um I'm going to do it backfires. So what I'm thinking is that I send it both ways. So I push it
Yes,
forward, but then it also pushes me back and I hit a wall and hit my head.
absolutely it does. Absolutely, it does. It backfires on you because you are so powerful and you are used to like pushing people with it. So you get like the recoil, the shotgun recoil of your own forceful push. But you do see that the window begins to open and separate, opening up into this glorious blue and green new city skyline beyond the cathedral. There are bloodboards, there is an airship, some of us have weapons now. As the window begins to open, a full fist comes through this door. Let me see if that's all that happens. Please hold. Okie dokie. A full fist comes through this door, and then a second one, as if poof, wha, and the integrity, the structural integrity of this door is hanging on by a thread. Airship or bloodboard? We got to make a decision fast.
Okay, so justice. So Callie's gonna make sure everybody else like is able to get out first because Callie has teleportation magic that she could just use. So now that the window is
Yeah.
open and I could see outside, Callie could just go. But unfortunately, she is an angel, is a pinnacle of justice. So she
Yes.
legally is required to wait for everybody. And then you just see Callie's like, okay,
Women,
choose.
children, and
Right,
literally
right.
everyone else first.
Literally everyone else. Callie's like, okay, choose and go, choose and go, choose and go right now, please. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Gang, what are we doing?
I was gonna look to one of the boards and just not even say a word. He's going to sprint over with his new following wand and go. I guess got bleed again. Sure.
You don't even need to bleed again. You've already got an open wound. You can use that blood to power on this blood board. It glows purple, and then streaks of gold, like tangles of DNA, kind of float and waft over the buckles that strap in your feet. And as soon as the blood activates, you lift up off the ground.
Are you lot
Anyone
coming or
else?
what?
Above table. Trapping
Yes.
magic. Would that be like to trap other people, like Home Alone hijinks?
Absolutely. If you want to
Because
have Rue Goldberg flavored spells, fuck yeah.
I would definitely think that absolutely going on the board. But I think that Anemone is digging in their bag, grabbing a random assortion. It's very Mary Poppins bag in there. Who knows what's in there? We don't know. You don't ask a girl what's in her purse.
Mhm.
Just grabs whatever and then kind of just like scatters a bunch of random things just so
Okay.
with the intention to trip up and get a little bit more escape time for whatever happens.
This is this is in your wheelhouse. This is purely from your coven. Uh Go ahead and roll me a cast check, please.
Okay.
And again, some of you might not know this about Anemone, but Anemone is from the Willow Coven, and they are all about justice for the dead. Where Callie's coven, the Zinnia Coven, is all about making those who deserve justice dead. It's more about avenging people who have already passed for the Willow Coven, and they are experts at tracking their prey and trapping their prey to make them answer for their crimes. So, what did you get on that cast check?
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of my advantages that I have. So I'm going to re-roll the lowest. And that brings me to doubles. So now I got double sixes. So we've got.
Do you want to re-roll, or you want to
12.
hold another feature advantage?
Well, I mean, either way, the +1 is really in my favor. So I've got 16, 17. I've got about 18 right now. So I think
you don't need it. Yeah, save it. Okay. And once you have cast that, an enemy, you see crawling through splinters of wood in this door, pulling themselves through, even as their gauze and bandages are getting stuck to the wood and pulling back from them. The Hexhound, refusing to give up its quarry. Do you hop on a bloodboard, or are you trying to get in the airship?
Oh, I'm getting on the board. Absolutely.
Absolutely. You take 1 damage as you have to give a little blood to that, but you pop in there, you rise off the ground as well. Ember, last but not least, because Callie is waiting for everyone else. Are you also hopping on a bloodboard? Are you doing anything else shenanigan-y in these last precious seconds as you see your pursuer breaching your last barricade?
Yeah, let me hop in this blood. Pack it up. Gang. And like, surely
Absolutely.
she hurt herself by throwing plaques all around.
Sure, we'll say that you've already like in punching through something and like using your elbow on another exhibit, you absolutely have some blood already. You don't have to take any extra damage. You hop onto that blood board. The 3 of you are on blood boards and are able to zoom out. Meanwhile, Callie, the Hexhound is fully in the room. There is 1 blood board left. What do you do?
Is everyone out? Or like on their way
Everyone's
out?
on blood boards moving towards the escape. Thank you, Raiders.
I'm gonna look outside and just leap off into the sunset.
Absolutely. I do need you to give me a mobility check because
Oh, he lunging
one
for
of your
me?
teammates just laid a trap. So please give me a mobility check.
And you know what? I did think about that, but I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'ma just let it roll. Ooh. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12.
Okay. On a mixed success, you get tangled up in a Home Alone-esque magical crisscross cat's cradle of like just knitting yarn that has kind of taken on a life of its own and begins to wrap around you cocoon style, from ankle all the way up, binding your arms, and you are dragged to the floor. And you think it's by the trap. You look back and you see the Hexhound pulling you, one arm after another, closing the distance. You hear snarling as it can sense your magic.
Can I bite it?
You have the You're not close enough to bite it
No,
yet, but you have the
fabric.
ability.
Is it a part of his body?
Well, you're being wrapped up in yarn from the
Oh,
trap and
dang.
being pulled towards the guy wrapped
I
in
see.
fabric,
I see.
but
I
you
see.
have the ability to absolutely look out the window and make this go away. This doesn't have to be real. If you want to teleport, now is the time.
I just go. Yeah, I'm gone. I
You look out, and just directly in front of you, you see a rooftop, and you're like, good enough. You have that innate ability. You don't have to roll for this. You land tangled up in knitting yarn on the next rooftop across the street from the museum. And you sit up enough to like start pulling it off of your body. You're still entangled. And you see the hex hound on all fours running. He leaps off of the second story out of this open window and hits the ground so hard, those bioluminescent blue pebbles go dust around and begins to come after you. Meanwhile, in hoverboards, bloodboards in the sky, racing over and out, we have the three other witches. You know where the safe house is, but the person with the slab is tied up in a trap set by one of your own and being viciously hunted by a hex hound. What do you do?
also, full disclosure, Callie is full blown crying. Like,
Oh my god.
I hate
Oh,
how
gosh.
the yarn. The yarn is why is the yarn on me? It just feels gross.
You
That I'm
too
being
coverable.
hunted and not in a hot way.
Full disclosure,
Lord.
I forgot that Callie got pushed back. I forgot there was a pushback.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgive you.
Just one time.
You're on boards. What do you do?
Yeah, can we you turn around? Yeah, because you're on a rooftop, right? Is that what
You
you said?
haven't passed her. You're like in the street above the hex hound who has just landed in the street and is climbing the walls like a rabid venom to get to Callie, who is on the rooftop.
Can I throw my spear?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a fight check.
Let's go.
And this is not a fight resist, so you can't add that d6 to it, but it is a fight check.
Understandable. Would I be able to use my other elemental feature, which is tough?
Yeah, tell me about tough.
So no one besses you if you can help it. You have a +2 and advantages on all fight resistance. I know this is not fight resist, but the +2.
Yep. No, it's got to be on a resist for you to get that +2.
Gotcha. That's all I got. Fantastic. A good old 8.
Okay. You throw that spear and it lands just above the hexhound's head. And without skipping a beat, he grabs his hand around it and uses it to propel himself another story higher on the building, smashing into the windows with claws that you did not see him have before. I would love to check in with Al or with an enemy for what you are doing in this moment.
I was gonna look at Ember and he's gonna be like, "Oh, that's a fucking problem." Like,
I mean, why?
I didn't know that was gonna happen.
like
I mean,
it was so fast. Like, he didn't even think about it. He just used it as a fucking spring. What was that, mate?
I mean,
What
to be
is
fair, I
wrong
kind
with
of fucked up too. So,
What are these things?
I'll tell you about them later.
Oh, what?
I think we gotta handle it. We gotta go.
Does
The
the
what
hex
is
hound
crazy.
above game? Does the hex hound want a little kissy? Like, can I roll?
Could I do charisma check real fast?
I mean,
Abandon this life.
I
Let me
mean,
take
I'm
you with
universally
yours.
loved, so I should just charm him because I'm universally loved.
I just need to know what it is that you actually do, no matter how wild it is. If you try to kiss the hexhound, all I need is a roll. You say the word, and I will make the roll happen.
Sin, you know I will. You know I will.
You know, all of us would.
I think Al will
What are we doing?
swing his hips and turn the hoverboard or the magic board, blood board, the board, to go in the direction of the hex sound.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because he doesn't know
How
what
close
this
are you getting?
blade wand.
Are you slinging anything at him?
Let's get intimate. Like, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know what the blade wand does, and Al doesn't know yet. So he's just like, this thing's hovering around my head. I feel like I'll have to get close. So let's get close. Knees are shaking, by the way. Shaking knees. Knees are not
Knees.
stable. Not
You
stable at all.
see,
The weak in the knees, man.
the rest of you see kind of like a surfboard cut from Al with this blood board. You see the bottom of the board for a second as he makes a hard curve and kind of dives for the hexhound, getting very intimate. And you see a little bit of a wobble as he gets closer. Are you going to attempt to attack the hexhound? Because if so, now is the time to do it if you want to activate your bladed wand.
Yes. Yes. I'm gonna attempt to attack it with could do like a
Reading for you.
God, I'm not quite sure what I want to. Can I use like a combat magic? Is there like a?
Yeah, I believe your specific coven, the Crown of Thorns coven, is really into defensive magics.
Right.
So if you want to throw up something that, in response to something he does to protect you, you absolutely can. Or you could probably throw up like a shield for Callie at the top of that roof or something like that. But because it's specifically defensive, if you want to use combat magics, you're going to have to go wandless.
Heard. I'm so glad you mentioned that.
During
So
episode 1?
we're gonna go for casting like a shield to go on to Callie to protect her as this thing is
Beautiful.
beelining.
Give me a cast check, please. You only expend a source point if it is successful. So you're pulling from a bunch of knowledge from your Crown of Thorns coven.
This is the 3d6s, right?
Yep. Actually, oh yes, because this is not a fight check. So this is a cast check. If it was fight, you would get your bladed wand benefit. So yeah, just roll me your cast check.
Okay. And this is disadvantage still, right?
This is not disadvantage. I don't think you're currently
cool.
in a situation in which you're still confused.
Okay,
so I wouldn't apply it to this.
Perfect. Okay. That is a 10.
Okay. Any future advantages you would like to burn to either add just a 1 or to re-roll a low?
I've burned all of them.
Okie dokie, Lemon Smoky. On a 10, tell me what your cast looks like when it is effective.
So normally the shield will look like a shield, but like it'll look kind of ominous. It'll look like if you were on the opposite side of the shield, you would not only feel like you would feel threatened if you were to be on the opposite end of the shield. But if you're on the receiving side, being protected by it, you would feel comfort. But in visuals, it would be it's dark gray, like beaten metal, ethereal shield that just kind of like levitates and has this very like kind of like a bass hum to it as it just like appears in front of someone.
So on that failed cast check, not only do you mark experience, but please choose a setback from your list on your character sheet and let us know what that is before I describe what happens next.
I think it makes sense for Al to overestimate how much power he needs to cast this, which the penalty being is spending 2 source points. because
Okay.
he this is new. This hexhound stuff is intense. This thing just used the spear as a springboard. I don't know if we gotta go supernova and unleash the clip and go crazy, but he put a little extra oomph into this shield that he never practiced, so it doesn't come out right.
Beautiful. You see the shield start to take form, Callie, over you, and it's like a glitch, like a shift, a shimmer that doesn't quite take form. In fact, when you blink, it's more mirage-like, and you see as it glitches in and out from over the side of the building, the hexhound flies up. Not really flies, but like launches himself up into the air and brings his hands like this as if to break the shield. And at the last second, the shield is not there. He saw it being cast and then it failed. An enemy, I will give you one opportunity here if you would like to do some hijinks before Callie is going to have to make a decision.
I think Anemone would redig in their bag quickly and pull out the knitting needles that went with the yarn and then try to do more hijinks with at least trying to propel, I guess, the knitting needle in his direction, I guess, is that's the way you say that. Um,
Absolutely. Now, are you doing this like throwing knife style, or are you doing this with magic force? I need to know if this is a fight check or a cast check, essentially.
I'm trying to think. We'll do. What would be the above table? What would be the difference?
Yeah, so a fight check, you're just using your actual physicality, you're using your body and what you can do with it. And a cast check would be you like propelling things, giving a magical boost to what you're doing, to your attack, to your spell, whatever it is.
Okay, I think I'd do the magic. Yeah.
Okay, give me a cast check, please.
Okay. All right, let's hope.
And we will say that this is going to be tracking magic because these are like homing strikes with knitting
Mhm.
needles. So if it's a success, that's the only time you spend a source point. So go ahead and let me know what that
Okay.
total is.
So I'm gonna burn a future advantage to re-roll the lower one.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, and that pushes me at 17.
Okay, that is a total success. Where would you like to hit the hexhound in the best of circumstances, absolute best case scenario? As you see him using pure velocity and gravity to bring down a devastating blow on Callie. He has not made it there yet, but he is falling.
I think because they are using both knitting needles, because at this point the yarn is all over Callie.
Yeah.
This hyperfixation is over. So guess what? The knitting needles are gonna go. I feel like one of them is going towards the eye and the other one is going like towards like the chest area, I think.
Okay. One of them is going towards the chest area, or both. Just want to be
One was
sure.
going like near the eyes and the other one near the chest.
Absolutely. Well, you got a total success. Callie, from above you, it's like everything begins to go in slow motion. You see the billowing, tattered rags of charcoal gray and this masked figure at the very last second, eyes aglow, as if about to cast something himself. And as he's falling towards you, getting larger in your vision, you tangled up in yarn. You see a knitting needle pierce straight through and again, straight through. The force from it knocks them a little bit off of their trajectory, and they go parkour tumbling off the side of the, or not off the side, but to the side of the rooftop, skittering in that graveled rooftop, whatever they do up there. I don't know why they put rocks on roofs, but they do. And he skitters to a stop over there. You have a few seconds to try and get yourself out of this yarn, and fast. I need you to give me, we can call this a dodge check, um, or a mobility check. It's up to you. They're both under fight, but if you have anything specialties wise for either of those, you can use that.
Um, Random question. Does the teleport have to bring whatever I like is on me?
Absolutely.
No, but does it have to? Like,
What
if
is?
I were to teleport again, could I just like be out of the yarn?
The yarn is wrapped around you, so very
Damn.
similar to the way that your clothes teleport with you when you do, so will the yarn.
Okay.
You can keep teleporting to the next thing you can see as a yarn cocoon.
I wanna get out of the yarn first. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. 6, 7, 8,
What do
9,
we
10,
got?
11, uh, 12, 13. And then what is this mobility?
Mhm.
Uh, Wait, hold on. Can I do mine?
Or dodge. But it is a fight stat.
13, which is that mixed or
Okay.
I think it's a mix.
That is a mixed success. But on a fight mixed success, you get what you're trying to do. You just take a little bit of damage. So you
Okay.
start panic, like struggling to get out of the yarn. There's like a little bit of yarn burn on your body in certain places. It is
Real.
a frantic frenzy of ripping this stuff off of you. Some of the injury that you're taking right now comes from your nails, just like trying to get out so you can get away from this hex hound. You only take 1 damage. As you do, you stand, you are able to continue teleporting to the next point you can see. I will give you this option, but you do not have to take it. This is just for flavor. You can let me know if this feels true to your character. If you would like, because you're the most familiar with the safe house, you can start bamfing to every point you can see, leading everyone else on hoverboards to the right way.
So my main concern is the hexhound incapacitated.
Would you like to investigate?
I don't want to investigate. If I have to investigate, I'm just gonna hit it. So no.
Okay.
If I have to investigate to see if it's incapacitated, I'm hitting it. And I feel
Okay.
like what so basically what happens is that Kelly is like and just like scratching and like pulling the like and then just turns around and like I imagine like whips, like ideally wants to throw a like water spear, but like it turns
Okay.
into ice and it pierces him like in the way where it uh pins him into the roof. Whereas
Absolutely.
okay.
Give, so that would take a total success for
Mhm.
a, I will let you choose if you want to do cast or fight, because this is very specific. You are casting something to do damage. So you can choose if you want to do cast or fight. It needs to
Mhm.
be a total success to pin him, but a mixed success will deal damage.
Okay. I am going to cast and since this is combat magic, can I roll my lowest one?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And she left. She's gone on the floor.
There she go.
Okay, so that's a 5, a 4, and a 4. Let's go. Like,
There's
right.
doubles right there. That is a 13 before you add anything to your stat.
Um,
Now, with doubles, instead of re-rolling, you can just add 1. So if you
Oh,
have a 13 right now. So instead of
13.
holding an advantage, you can add 1 and get to that 14.
Well, then actually, I'm just gonna hold on to it because with the cast, I have a +1, so I have a 14
Hell yeah.
total. I'm gonna hold that.
You, heaving and panicked and frenzied, get to your feet and grab the edge of the rooftop, and with your free hand, everyone on bloodboards can see the movement of water, the coalescence of liquid, and how it becomes so quickly solid that you can see the frost kind of lifting off of it. You throw this spear and you absolutely pin this hexhound to the rooftop. Before you are able to teleport to the next rooftop or to the next point you can see, you do see the hexhound trying to push himself up, grunting, uh, not dead, not down, reaching behind him to rip out the knitting needles straight through his body. He's not going to be able to get out of this until the ice melts or your cast ends. So you have time. You have time to skedaddle the fuck away. But do you? I'm asking the whole group this. Do you leave and get to safety? This seems like everything you have done to this hexhound so far has not had a serious effect.
So I will say, at least for Callie, because Callie is not sure if like what they are doing is justice, they are going to dip the hell out of here. They're gonna be like, I don't know if you see
Okay.
that TikTok where it's like, and they just like disappear further and further. That
Yes,
is what happens
absolutely.
with their teleport.
Wonderful. You start teleporting forward. Those of you on bloodboards can see this happen. Are you also heading to the safe house now that you know that Callie, who has the slab, is heading towards that direction?
I mean, the Hexhound already looked at Anemone, so yeah, no, getting the fuck out of there.
Okay.
Indeed,
Ember and
yeah.
Al?
Yeah.
On the way out,
Okay.
On the way
definitely.
out.
Beautiful. You realize that it is the middle of the night, and the stars above New City are gorgeous, but they're different than the stars for unfamiliar humans with no magic. You see deeper constellations. You follow a different path. As you all, one by one, summon a group, probably Callie getting there first with her Bamftastic abilities, manage to make it back to a safe house, a loft, one of the only loft buildings in Elderburb, the oldest suburb in New City. It is nestled atop this vibrant green building, mostly brick, but covered in vines that have just kind of started to reclaim this area. It's the most industrial looking building in Elderburb. Burnwood's Loft is this cozy little sanctuary filled with natural light filtering through large glass windows. Even at night, that moonlight is like sunlight here. The walls are adorned with plants and hand woven rugs and shelves brimming with jars of herbs and potions and crystals, things she can sell, things she can haggle for, things she can bargain with. You see beyond this area an art studio full of canvases and paintings, and different jars stacked to the brim with jutting out paintbrushes. And because Callie gets there first, Callie, you remember standing here in this doorway a long time ago. Bags on top of bags with suitcases and terrible cheap package store boxes, all of your life in just a few containers. You know this safe house well because when you were in your time of need, This was your home. Burnwood gifted you this space for a temporary time while you regathered yourself. You remember Burnwood, her braids just as long as ever, gray and twisted and adorned with little crystals and adornments, and a large patterned moo carrying the last of your boxes into this loft and going, well, you can stay here as long as you like. You're going to love this. I've got hundreds of teas, an art studio with plenty of blank canvases. There's a meditation room in the back, and it's not really a sauna, but the bathroom doesn't quite get cold, so it's always a little humid in there. It's good for the humors. Humidity, humors. You know what I mean. You know that you are always welcome here, and everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about your family. Don't worry about the world outside. The world doesn't matter. What's in here matters, right? We know that. You and me know that. You've got the keys for as long as you need them. And she hands you over those keys, which you use to get into this safe house. She never asked for them back. She never asked for a cent of rent. And you're standing here again, but it's different. This time, beyond the shelving, in between the shelves there, that since it has no back and is kind of the only divider between rooms in this open loft, you can see Burnwood floating in the back there, circled in a red mist, almost like a boa constrictor, all the way around her body, veins black under her eyes, down her neck, all the way down to her hands. Please give me, I'm gonna say, either an intuit or a cast check. And I can't explain why now, but choose one. You'll get different information for each, and go ahead and roll that for me.
Cast. Okay, I rolled terribly, but I got doubles. So
Okay.
I'm gonna re-roll this one. So that's a 5, 6, 7, 8. But I'm gonna use my advantage to re-roll my other one. And
Okay.
okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay. On a cast mixed success, you are going to have to choose one of your magical setbacks, but you feel as looking over this space, it take form anew as you are hit with one of your pretty rare visions. It's like stepping back into that very day when you moved in, and you remember Millie Goggins was there that day helping you move in. This was around the apprentice time when she started, so very new. And you don't know why, but Millie in this vision is covered in shadow. And the next moment, you see a blade of crimson, a blade of pure blood, like glass, and a bandaged charcoal gray hand reaching for it. You are snapped out of this vision as the rest of your team bloodboards into the hallway behind you, hopping off boards, getting back to the meetup point. A chill goes through you, Callie. A suspicion goes through you, Callie. And that is where we will end tonight's party for Hex Heist. Thank you so much for joining us. This was such a beautiful opening session. I cannot wait to dive deep into this intrigue and mystery. And because we deprived you of the privilege, we are going to go around and tell everybody here who stayed with us in chat and enjoyed this lovely game where they can find you, what projects you have coming up, and all of the good things. Let's start directly to my left with Anemone today, who is played by Bree. Can you tell us where the people can find you?
Hello, I am Bree. Hi, nice to meet you. I am a lot of different places, everywhere everywhere all the time, LG Bree or Brie LaFay. Project, I am currently writing a book. It is in its infancy, so yeah, just look out for that, I guess, for updates. So yeah.
Beautiful. Next up, our avenging angel witch, uh, lovely Callie, played by the even lovelier Bree. Can you tell the people all about you?
Yes, so I'm Brie, like the cheese. And I've played Callie. You could find me on. I'm actually doing a lot of things this month. You could find me on Roll for Luck Wednesday, next week Wednesday, at 8 p.m. Eastern on Girls Run These Worlds. You can also catch me on Prem the Oxalotto's channel on every other Tuesday, which will be on the 18th this month, where we are playing a Call of Cthulhu game. Um, here every Friday for the rest of this month. And also a one shot, I think also. Oh wait, no. The one shot's on the 18th. Oh, Brindlewood one shot on the 18th. Thank you. Okay. Getting my wires crossed. And then also, check out me and Blue King V are working on a TTRPG. There is a black Zine coming out at the end of this month by Griot Anthology for a bunch of black TTRPG creators. So that will be releasing. It is currently on pre-order for $15, which will be in the Linktree link somewhere that exists here. And yeah, those are all the places you can find me.
Thank you so very much. Al, our wobbly kneed lovely prince of magic, was played today by Carrie. Can you tell the people everything they want to know, please?
Of course, of course. Yeah, y'all can find me at Oathbreaker Carry on TikTok, Instagram, on here on Twitch, making goofy fantasy video game or TTRPG skits and bits. One third of the Rune Docs with some other creators, Azim and Rondez Green. We're making some similarly skits and bits and some fun content. But yeah, and Blue Sky and Threads as well, if you just want to see a rambling or two. But I'm around.
Lovely. And last but never, ever, ever least, we had our Witch of the Flame, uh, our lovely Ember, played by Taylor. Taylor, can you talk to the people?
Hey everyone, I'm Taylor, aka Squeaky Taylor. I'm a Black Friday content creator and all the jazz. If you're not sick of me, you can see me on Monday. I will be playing The Hill We Met Upon. So if you love emotionally damaged animals trying to travel the world together, you'll see me there on the Starcrawl channel. If you love princesses or Disney princesses theme, on Tuesday you can see me on Imagine If for Princess in Perils game. And if you just want to chill and play some good old Jackbox, I'll be over at Roll D5 playing Jackbox with a bunch of amazing Black content creators. That's it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I am Meadow. I have been Meadow and will hopefully continue to be Meadow in the future. That's always my outro because I stole it from Bree. Thank you so much for being here. Before I talk about me, I'd love to talk about the lovely people who gave us the opportunity to share this game with you and share this story with you. Girls Run These Worlds. They have partnered with 3 Sales Studios to put out 2 quick start guides on an ecology and exploration TTRPG called Mappa Mundi, which is now at 300% of their Kickstarter goal. Taylor and I had the pleasure to work on a lovely how-to videos that kind of explain what goes on there, how the mechanics work, and how to build characters. And we'd love if you take a look at that. Check out the system. It's really beautiful. We had our first of 3 Black History Month panels this past Wednesday at Girls Run These Worlds, featuring topics about the Black experience in TTRPGs, which is now available on YouTube, featuring both Bree and Taylor from this very cast. And to hear more about the creator side of things in the TTRPG industry, please join us Wednesday, February 19th, to hear a freeform kind of roundtable discussion on the same topic on the 26th. So the 19th, industry side, freeform roundtable, 26th. Girls Run These Worlds also anchor the show Roll for Luck, which features Bree and is run by Ryu, and has a lot of other great Black creators there, and will turn February 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern. The Sapphics of Luck crew start to discover that each portal jump is another dimension of their original world. With more questions than answers, they still make time to have an eventful week. And finally, right after this stream, we are going to be rating Apochromatic Unlimited, I think it's what it's called, who are currently raising money for Black Girls Rock, and they are playing Cyberpunk Red. If you enjoyed this system and watching the story and you want to support me in any of my endeavors, you can find me over at Patreon, where I post my games with odd mechanics and underutilized ways to tell stories over at Howdy Love Darlin. You can find me everywhere on the internet that matters at Howdy Love Darlin or Howdy Love Darlin GM. If you want to see me run more games and play more games, you can see me for Call of Cthulhu all through March, Wednesdays at the Forgotten Adventure stream for Fears and Fortunes, here every Friday with this very session. Tick Tick Bloom, a session that I made, which is VeggieTales meets Game of Thrones, is over at Roll D5, premiering on the 10th and wrapping up as a two-shot on the 17th. I also am going to be in Two Moon Rising for a couple of different streams over at Help Action Needed, and I will be over at Imagine If on the 18th for Brenda Woodbay, which I am running, a system of grandmothers in a book club who are solving murder mysteries with an eldritch twist. So I would love to see you more. Thank you so much for being here to support us. Thank you for letting us spiel our stuff to you at the end here. And we hope that you join us again next week. Same place, same time, same witches, but very different obstacles. Thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy your evening. We'll see you next time for Hex Heist.